Is it go time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got nervous. Okay. I'm just warming up, okay? Sometimes it takes me a second.
Okay.
Okay. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be taking you through a meal prep slash food prep video. I usually try to do this at the beginning of the week on a Sunday, but today's Wednesday because I slacked a little this week. And I say food prep and meal prep because I usually pick a protein, carb, vegetable to kind of prep for the week. And then I also like to do recipes. Now, if you follow my channel, you'll know that I am a macro tracker, so making recipes can be a little bit tricky for some people with that. So I'm gonna show you how to track when you make elaborate recipes in MyFitnessPal to know how many macros are in it. Meal prepping is really important. It's gonna make everything a lot easier for you. So when you come home from the gym and you're starving, you don't eat a whole bag of chips as a full meal because it's ready to go. You have these nice meals prepped and things like that.
I might still.
You might still eat a whole bag of chips. Okay guys, so meal prep's usually gonna take you maybe a couple hours or so, but that time is important because it's gonna really make a difference. In my fitness journey, I guess you could call it, I waited to do meal prep for way too long and it could have helped me in a lot of situations.
Saves so much time in the long run because you bust it all out.
Exactly. And Dallon's behind the camera. You wanna say hi, Dallon? That's my husband. Okay, let's start with protein. So usually I like tofu, tempeh, or occasionally kind of a meat replacement, I guess, like crumbles or you know what I mean. But this week we got mostly tofu and tempeh. What I like to do with this tofu, I got it at Trader Joe's, it's high protein. I put it in the freezer. We already have some. And then I make sure to take the frozen one out at least 24 hours before I'm gonna eat it.
Beyond Meat was at Costco, we had to get it.
Oh yeah, Beyond Meat. Don't have that as much, but once in a while, real good. The reason I freeze the tofu is because it's kind of an easier way to suck all the water out, and then by the time it unthaws, it doesn't have so much water in it and it's gonna absorb more of the spices. So that's why I do that. I don't really prep tofu other than that in advance because I don't want it to get mushy and gross after a few days of sitting in the fridge waiting for me to eat it. So that's the one thing I prep on the spot. And then for tempeh, I like to chop this up and kind of marinate it in whatever spices, sauces I feel like that week. I will chop it up evenly into even pieces, so if I eat half of it, I can add it in MyFitnessPal beforehand. This one's already in MyFitnessPal because I've had this a few times. So we got all the tempeh chopped up, and then what I'm gonna marinate it in is soy sauce, rice vinegar, and garlic powder. So I'm just gonna stick it all in there. And I cover it up, shake it around.
Get it.
Well, I was thinking something's for him. So after I shake it around a little bit, I'll just put it in the fridge. That's all I do.
Easy peasy.
And then it has time to soak in all the flavors, okay? And same thing with tofu, you could probably marinate it. I haven't done that yet. A lot of people say they don't like the flavor of tofu, but I'll let you know right now, tofu doesn't really taste like anything. So if you don't put spices on it, it's not gonna taste great.
Yeah, wise up.
Moving on to vegetables. This one's gonna be quick because I already made them. So I just usually steam vegetables. This is our rice cooker over here. I'll stick them in the top, steam them. So I already made broccoli. It takes like what, like 5 minutes, maybe 10.
Fast.
And then I made Brussels sprouts, so I'll put both of those in a Tupperware. They're ready to go. Dallon made this rice yesterday. It's pretty good.
We ran out of our normal rice and that's Mana's rice
that we make his dog food with, but it's okay.
You can tell the difference.
Yeah, we usually do white rice because I think I've talked about this on my channel before. Eating a vegan diet high in protein, we usually get pretty high fiber. So where we don't need it is our rice. We're gonna move on to the next carb, And that's gonna be sweet potato. So I'm gonna rinse these off real quick, chop them up, and then I usually just stick them in the oven. I should preheat the oven. Like 400 or 450?
425,
Let's do
I don't know.
450. You guys, I think some people think that other people know exactly what they're doing in the kitchen. Most of the time, I just wing it, you know? I just go for it. If you make a mistake, you can try again next time. So don't be afraid. Maybe if you have a husband, let him chop the sweet potato. Or parents, because I still get afraid I'm gonna cut myself. I got these glass trays out. You can use whatever tray you want for your oven. And then I like to use a spray oil because spray oil is gonna give you less fat and it's just quick and it's easy and yeah. But we usually get coconut or avocado, but Dallin bought canola last time, but it's okay.
Oh.
So I just do a spray or two, and then I'm just gonna throw the sweet potato in there. And then Dallin's gonna chop the other one.
Look at my hair.
I think we've determined Dallin's much better chopper than me. Oh well. You can season these if you want. I usually don't. I'll just season them later when I eat them. Watch out, Mana.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna stick them in the oven. Okay, and then I probably cook them for about 30 minutes, and then I usually will stick a fork in one of them, see if they're soft enough. If they need more time, I'll do a few more minutes. Again.
You think at 450?
Play it by ear.
You do that one?
Mm-hmm. 30 minutes. Okay, so before we move on to the recipes, I forgot to tell you guys how I cook the tempeh or the tofu. So once it's done marinating or the tofu's thawed out, I just chop it up. Tempeh's already chopped up, put it on the stove, and then I just, again, kind of eyeball it until it looks like it's more crispy, probably on medium heat. So it's pretty simple. Okay, so now we're ready to move on to our first recipe. This recipe is let me read it. It's a mushroom carbonara.
Carbonara.
Vegan spinach and mushroom carbonara. And this is out of Vivo Nutrition's ebook. It was a free recipe ebook. So Vivo Nutrition's like a vegan supplement brand. I'll pop this page in the ebook up on the screen so you guys can see it. But the recipe serves one, so I'm gonna quadruple it so we can serve for 4 servings. Okay, to make this easier to put into my FitnessPal and the recipe tab, I wrote it all down as well and can kind of write exactly how much I put in it. So the first thing is spaghetti. It calls for whole grain spaghetti. We just have this simple Barilla spaghetti noodles. So I quadrupled it. It's 320 grams. The water is already boiling back here, so I'm just gonna throw it in there. Next step is mushrooms and the spinach. Now, I don't think we have enough spinach. So we do have arugula. So we're gonna use all this spinach and all this arugula. So we'll do that. And then we also need 4 cups of mushrooms chopped. So let's just chop it up real quick. And we'll move on. So Dallin chopped them and I kind of measured out 4 cups, which came to 324 grams. Wrote that down on my paper. And now we're gonna put it on the stove, medium-high heat. And then after about 3 minutes of the mushrooms, once they get a little softer, then we will add the greens. So I'll start measuring out the greens. Okay, so that's 117 grams. So if you're new to my channel, the reason I weigh it out is because it's a little more accurate, and that's what I can put into my FitnessPal when we're done cooking. So I drained out all the water from the noodles. You're supposed to leave a little bit of water in there, but I forgot for the sauce. So I'm just gonna dump in the mushrooms and the greens with the water they have. So hopefully that makes up for it. Okay, and now this is the part where we get a little creamy with it. So we're going to add, I did 10 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, which is 75 grams about. So I'm just gonna put that all in there. So cheesy. And then we're gonna do these garlic cloves down, just crushed and chopped up for us. I think it's about 8 garlic cloves. Put those in there. And this is the tahini we'll be using. We just got it at Trader Joe's today. So the tahini, I would measure out like grams wise, but it's just a bunch of bowls to get dirty. So I'm just gonna do 8 tablespoons of tahini. If you don't know what tahini is, it's sesame seed butter, I guess. Now, I wouldn't be afraid to add more water to this if it needs it, just like a little splash. Yum, you hear that creamy pasta sound?
We'd add some water. It was super dry. What do you think, like a cup?
So we had to add a little bit of water to the pasta. If yours comes out dry, kind of like ours was, then add water slowly, keep mixing until it looks a little more creamy. Or just be like me and don't forget to, don't be like me. Don't forget to save some of the pasta water. So now that the pasta is looking a lot better, it's a lot creamier, we're gonna add the seasonings. The ones it calls for is salt, pepper, chili powder, but you could add whatever you want. I'm just gonna do a little bit, and then whoever, if it's either me or Dallin that eats these, when we separate them, you can add more spices. We separated it into 4 different Tupperwares. If they had all been the same size, I probably would have just eyeballed it to make sure they looked somewhat equal. But because they were all different shapes and sizes, we decided to weigh the entire portion we made.
Of it.
And then I divided it by 4 and then put that in each of the Tupperwares. A little tedious, but helps us stay on track, hit our goals. So now I'm gonna show you how to enter it into my MyFitnessPal. And I'll just pop it up on the screen as I do it. Okay, so you're just gonna open up MyFitnessPal, and then you can go to Add Food, and then under the Recipe tab, you'll hit the plus button in the top right corner, and we'll do Create a Recipe. This is where the little notes you took will come in handy. Dallin's trying to multitask and drink coffee. Maybe it's time I go back to the tripod.
Nah.
We'll see. So then you're gonna enter ingredients manually. So this, I'm going to put vegan, mushroom, carbonara. I don't know if I spelled it right.
Did you ever look up how to pronounce it?
Yeah, but I still forget. Okay, and then serves how many people? We made 4 servings, so it serves 4. Go to the next button, and then you have to add each individual ingredient. So the first thing was the spaghetti, and the easiest thing to do is to scan everything. So at the bottom right corner, you'll see it says scan. You click on that. Let's see. Scan this pasta, and that's gonna give you, and then you're gonna put in 320 grams. That's how much we did. And then you'll go through every single ingredient you did, put them all in, and then we'll fast forward to when that part's over because it's a little bit time consuming. So I finished putting all the ingredients in, and the total came to, per serving, it's 585 calories, about 80 carbs, 18 fat, and like 31 protein, which is pretty good. So now it's in the recipe tab. So when you want to add it to whatever day you eat it, click on Add Food, Recipes, there it is, and you press the check mark, and then it just puts it in there for you. So if I wanted to give this recipe extra protein, I would maybe add tofu on top, or like the soy meat crumbles, you know, for a little extra protein if you want it, but you honestly don't need it, which is awesome. Okay guys, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm kind of tired after making all that food, so I don't think I'm gonna make the second recipe today, which was gonna be chickpea lettuce wraps. So if you wanna see that video, I'll make it another time. So let me know if you wanna see that. I'll still leave you with another thing I did. So I made these chocolate protein cakes. I did the exact same thing where I put them into MyFitnessPal, and then I have however many servings. Anyway, there's an entire dedicated video on this already on my channel that I will link right here, so you guys can go check that out. I have made those same cupcakes with a different protein than in the video, and it just doesn't turn out the same. So I would recommend, if you're gonna make those, to get the Orgain chocolate protein. But they're so good and they're so high in protein.
Dang.
So check out that video. Anyways guys, that's it for today's video. If you have any questions about any of this food or other food prep, meal prep questions, leave them in the comments down below. Also videos you'd like to see next. And if you're a subscriber here, you already know the drill. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you aren't subscribed, then you should subscribe because it really supports my channel. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.